What up, YouTube? I figured I'd try a little something different. On my lunch break, got one off my lunch break, so I was like, shoot, let me go on and post a video. Gotta make a habit out of this. It really ain't nothing new to talk about right now. You know, it's a rainy day today, but we not one of them companies that have rain out days. Rain out day is when you don't work because it's raining. I'm pretty much just, my content is the same. It may even seem mundane, but he said that's what you got to do. Posting about my daily work life. I'm here in our supply room. You know, I don't want to show y'all the supplies and stuff because I don't know if I don't want to get in trouble for it. Just in case somebody from this place sees me or sees my content. You know, so I gotta protect myself. But I just got back from the corner store and got me a little something to get me through the rest of the day. Something that I can talk about that's relevant to living life on the road, whether you're a truck driver, salesman, or a welder, you'll be a fitter, a scaffold builder, or whatever, crane operator, equipment operator, it doesn't matter. Something that we all got in common with this lifestyle is knowing how to budget your money. Oh, and I apologize for my videos. I'm getting better. I just see my other video. I noticed that y'all couldn't really see my face. You know, I don't have adequate equipment. You know, so I post in the comments and let y'all know what's going on. And I would rather y'all see the mistakes versus me going in and editing and all that stuff. You see it raw and uncut. This is a daily thing for me. You know, 6 days a week. Anyway, in this lifestyle, the thing that all the contractors have is that we have to know, you know, is budgeting. Budgeting is so important because if you out here in this type of work, or any work in general, but I'm speaking specifically for this one, and you're not budgeting, you'll find yourself in a vicious cycle of paycheck to paycheck, and that's dangerous being out here on the road because anything can happen. Like you could get laid off, and that's speaking from experience. My last gig, I had money saved up, and like it happened to me multiple times before. I got comfortable, I got lax with my saving, and I started spending money, which is terrible to do. I started spending money in excess. I still had money saved up, but I was spending extra money for no reason, and I got abruptly laid off. Company didn't give me no heads up. They didn't let me know anything. That's just the type of company it was. If you wasn't rubbing elbows with certain people in certain groups and certain cliques, man, you didn't know anything. And I got laid off. I found out the day of, right before they were laying me off. I was gonna get laid off. And it was okay. I still had money saved up, you know, to take care of my bills and get me from point A to point B for a while. But it wasn't enough to be able to invest into something else. So that was my shortcoming with that. So if anything, make sure you got money put up to where you can figure out what to invest it in. Now, I have multiple places that I want to put my money, and I'm narrowing it down. In my goal book, I'm narrowing it down to what it is I want to invest in next. You know? And that's like an important characteristic you have to have about yourself. Let me see what else. Oh, health. Man, you gotta have your health together, man. Out here in this lifestyle, it's easy, just like before, to get distracted and stop taking care of yourself because you meet hundreds of thousands of people from all over the corners of the United States. You know what I'm saying? You might even run from people from the same state, and you don't know their lifestyle prior to meeting you. You know, and it becomes addictive. It does, running into people that like to have a good time. And let's say you're new to it, you get out there having a good time with them. You know, bar hopping, going to clubs, you know, whatever whatever your preference is, chasing men or women, and you'll get. Excuse me, I'm taking these boots off. Try to let these feet breathe for a minute, and you'll get accustomed to that lifestyle, man, and be jeopardizing your health, drinking and smoking, whatever your vices may be. You know what I'm saying? I used to smoke. It was years ago. I haven't smoked in, May, June, February, March. And this June will be 2 years for me. You know, I haven't smoked. I haven't smoked cigarettes or anything else for that matter. And I used to be a real heavy drinker. I slowed all the way down on that, man. Like every now and again, I may have a beer, you know, have a cider, you know, a flavored cider. But other than that, man, you won't catch me drinking like I used to. And that's because I started noticing that I was hurting way more than what I used to. You know, like my body was showing me signs like, hey, you tripping, this don't feel good. You know? And I'm glad that my body was kind enough to let me know before I got too far. So definitely take care of your health. And when you out here, man, don't be scared to learn. Don't corner yourself to your trade. And what I mean is, always be willing to learn. Always have your ears and your eyes and your mind open to receive information. You know what I'm saying? To make yourself better. Because like I'm a welder, but I had my CDL. I let it go intentionally. I still know how to drive trucks. I know how to operate equipment. You know, I've done house renovations with a buddy of mine, him and his dad, who are awesome at their job, man. Like when I was in between layout season, I would go work with them. You know, so I done laid linoleum, hardwood floor, painted houses, knocked down walls, rebuilt walls. I am a jack of all trades because I always have that willingness to learn. You know, at the moment that you feel like you know it all, I personally believe is when you start to die. So don't ever be at a place in your life where you feel like you got it all figured out. I always have an open mind to learn. Stay malleable, not gullible. Stay malleable. You know what I'm saying? Like the Serenity Prayer, which it basically breaks down to that. You gotta know, change the things you can and accept the things you cannot. You know, I struggled with that for a long time, especially accepting the things I could not. Boy, I feel like, I don't know why I believe it, but I feel like, man, if I don't like it, I'm finna do something about it. And it would be some of the things that were inevitable. And one of my biggest problems was accepting that I couldn't change was people. And it's because I had a compassion for folks. I still do. And if I always see better, I want to show them better. Be like, hey, here's a better way like this. Then I had to realize, like, that's a downfall. Some people aren't ready to change. Some people don't want to change. Some people got stuck in their ways and don't realize that they need to change, you know? So that's when I learned to just render positive words towards them anyway. Just give them positive words and learn how to get out the way. And that's what I started doing. And I started investing more time back into myself. Because at the end of the day, it's cool out here. At the end of the day, even if I convince somebody to change or give them a better insight to life, that's pretty much all I can do for them, because I don't even have myself in a position to help them. I don't have a service to offer them, you know. There's nothing that I can give them besides those kind words. So it's like, okay, let me start working on myself. And that's one of the best decisions I've ever made in my life. My mindset started growing. I started realizing that I had more problems wrong with me. I had more things that I could have been working on for myself, you know. And that's what I've been doing. You know, I learned more about vices, accountability, structure. structure in my life, things that I wasn't doing. And in turn, that made my relationships with other people better because they knew how I used to be. They seen who I was, and then they could recognize the change to who I was becoming. Like I used to, man, I missed out on so many opportunities because the person who I used to be was so vicious and negative, like toward everything, that I couldn't see. I couldn't even receive when somebody was really trying to help me. I remember I was in my 20s, and this dude, man, I met him at this company. I didn't even see the company as a dead end, even though I wasn't making near. I wasn't even making. I was probably making like a third of what I make now, man. I really wasn't making no money. Or maybe a fourth of what I'm making. And just circumstances lined up to where we was doing inventory, and this guy picked me out of everybody, all the other employees there, and decided to talk to me. Come to find out, he had been mentored by this guy that made millions of dollars off of coffee. And the same mentor took him under his wing to teach him and show him something better. And he wanted to do the same thing for me. Something happened. I was arguing with somebody, man, and I used to be so enraged and furious because I had traumas that I never dealt with. I never talked about, I never grew up and got over, you know, not forget about, but just got over so that I could be better in life. And I lost that man's contact information by breaking my phone. That was, if I really believe if I would have had that information, if I would have had more emotional control over myself, that y'all would be meeting me in a different light. Like, we don't understand. I didn't understand how much power I had over my destiny. Not my end goal, but my destiny. Like, where I'm gonna be at. It's like, when I got older and I matured, and I let a lot of that brain fog go, things became more clear. And I'm like, dang, man, I could have been in a way better position. But I'm not one to dwell over shoulda, wouldas no more. It made me start looking at myself in the present. And I was like, man, I got to change that about myself. My attitude would drive away opportunity. My negativity would run people away that might have had an interest. The way I used to talk, man, was just terrible, you know? And I got a good buddy that told me about that, about myself. Good guy, man, real good guy, man. And he told me, and so I started making a conscious change, a conscious decision to want to change that. And I've been working on it ever since. I'm not perfect, you know. I still have my moments where I fall short, but I correct myself in the moment. You know, I recognize it right away so that it won't become a habit again. I learned to cut it off now. You know, that I can save face later. All my partners say, don't cut off your nose to spite your face. So that's what I've been working on. You know, that's a constant reminder, a constant thing. That comes more natural now. Correcting myself, it comes way more natural than it used to. And one of my biggest things I'm working on now is being consistent. Like, I get up and go to work, no problem, man, no problem, I don't care. And like back in the day when I did drink like that, man, I didn't care if I was hungover. You know, I'd be sick, I'd be at work sick. I'd be going through it. But I'd still be at work. You know, work ethic is on point. But I wasn't consistent in any other part of my life. You know, you gotta be consistent if you wanna have a better life, if you wanna see your life through a clearer lens. You know? So I've been working on being consistent as far as right now my bills and my goals. I was actually doing that before I started this video. because I got it marked down on my calendar. I got it wrote down in my book, and I got it marked down on my calendar, on my bills. And then later on the day, I got to write down all my extra expenses that I've been dropping off. I knew this first check was gonna go to primarily bills, man. I didn't expect anything else for this check but to pay bills. You know, I put half up and the other half I want to live off of the week. That's what I've been doing, paying bills with it. I got a few more bills to pay out throughout this month, and I'll be okay. But so definitely work on consistency, man. Work on consistency, and write down goals for yourself, because life is gonna happen regardless. Life is gonna always happen, because life is gonna always happen, and that's just the way it is. You know, so you gotta build an exterior on yourself. Like, all right, yeah, that was tough, that hurt, but I still gotta get up. I still gotta move. Still gotta do what I gotta do. You know, I still have these goals in place. I have to acquire this, you know, and keep moving forward. Because for the young people that do have kids, younger people that do have kids, and the older people that have kids, you know that once you have kids, that, man, you know, your life really isn't about you anymore. It's like automatically the switch comes on where you have to be concerned about your children. It's like an insight to a whole nother world. If you haven't believed in energy exchange or being connected with somebody, even when you're not close to them, you'll see it and feel it then. And I could care less. Well, not care less. Yeah, let me say that. I could care less if you really care about your kids or not. You still gonna have that mental connection to them. There's no way away from it. No way away from it. You're gonna always think about it because they come from you. You know, it is different for men and women. You know, a man can tell me all day long, oh, I don't care and all this and that. But you can't convince me that you don't. You know, even if your actions show that child you don't care. I know better. You know. But you definitely want to be able to have stuff put up for them. Like, something I've been looking into lately is trust. I've been looking into trust, how to structure an irrevocable trust. Even though I don't have the finances to do it right now, I know that that's in the near future for me, because that's going to be something set up for them for when I get older. You know, when I'm ready to retire or my time up. Excuse me. When my time end up being up, I got something to play for them. Something that's going to take care of my offspring and my offspring's offspring for years to come. You know? So, like, definitely, when you out here on the road, man, you want to be about your business. Don't get caught up in the fast life, because it's easy to do. Don't get caught up in what everybody else doing if it isn't positive. You know, if it isn't pushing you toward being better, don't get caught up in it. Like real spill. You know, you gotta know the difference. There's nothing wrong with saying no. You know, so it just comes with knowing yourself. Adulting. I had to do the safety meeting out here where I'm working at the other day. It's where they bring a whole bunch of co-workers, a whole bunch of workers in from different companies, and make them sit down and get to know each other. And we doing exercises and stuff. And man, I was surprised. I surprised myself because I was talking to co-workers. I was talking to them and just giving them insights to what I think and how I talk to myself and how I talk to my immediate family. And it was shocking them. Like it was new to them. And I'm looking at them like, I say this all the time. But in that moment, it let me know that everybody has like, you know, like everybody doesn't think the same. So you have something special to contribute to others. You just gotta figure out what it is. I still don't know what mine is, but it surprised me because I don't talk to a lot of people. You know, like I tell you, I'm very private. But when I I do speak, I'm heard. So that did something for me. It made me more aware of myself. Like I know people notice me, not like I'm some big star, big shot. I'm just the best looking man on earth. But I do stand out in the crowd. You know, I don't know if it's my demeanor or really part of the way I look, or my hair or my voice. But I stand out in the crowd. So I was like, I need to be more aware of what I say and how I move when I am in public. Because people notice me. You know, just like I notice certain people. So I was like, just self-work, self-love is always important. You're on this road, man. If you have any takeaways, then one of them be, you know what I'm saying, about self-care. Self-care goes in many forms. If you have a wife or a girlfriend, be true to her, man. Like air spill, because it's easy to get caught up out here on this road. It's easy to get beside yourself out here on this road. You know? Don't ever fool yourself. You know what I mean? You know, be aware of who you are and how you could be nobody. You know, nobody's above nobody. Man, I don't want to be mundane and be boring. But I don't know. You just gotta be real, man. You gotta be really real. I want to make a video out there while I'm welding, but I don't know how that's gonna be. I don't know how it's gonna turn out. My bosses be walking up on me and stuff, so yeah, give me some time. Give me some time to figure out how to set that up. You know, to get away with a video out there so I can show y'all actually how I do it. It ain't nothing major or miraculous, you know what I mean? But I want to show y'all the processes I be doing when I'm out there welding. You know, hopefully I can show you, help you out. I know for sure when I be running them, what rod I tell you, 73, 32nd, 7018 rod, I be running them. I know them rods are good at a heat between 89 and 91, 92. So like between 89 and 92, 92 is probably a good heat you want to run them in, especially if it's, 92 is like the highest heat. So if you got a little thicker metal, like 3/8 to a half. Wait a minute, is 3/8 bigger than a half? I think 3/8 is bigger than a half. I'm not by far a mathematician. So like 3/8, half inch, a thicker metal like that, you want to run it at like 91, 92 to get good penetration. If you have a thinner metal, it's not going to take that much heat, you know, given. So I always do between like 80, 88, and 90. That's good heat right there. You get effective penetration without any cold roll, and you'll be able to manipulate the weld more. You always want to pay attention to the keyhole. The keyhole is like where at the end of your puddle where your rod is, you'll see it. It'll be the light there. It'll make like a little keyhole. You want to stay in your puddle and never weed wider than the width of your rod. So like 3/8 rod ain't that big, you know, about that big, so you don't want to weed no more than that. You know, because anything out of that, you're going to get undercut or you're going to burn your metal away, wash your metal out. So that, oh yeah, don't forget angle. So if you run it flat, you know what I'm saying, you have it in the top prong that goes like this. When I run uphill, I like to use the guide that's inside the stinger. That's like this at a 45. I use that one, but I always aim it straight. So the rod will be in my stinger like this, but I hold it straight when I'm going uphill. That way the weld will fall down in itself, and I get the full penetration. Because if you're running at a 45, going at a 45 like this, it's 9 times out of 10, your weld will start washing, dropping out. You know, you'll burn more metal than you will penetrate. Learn how to wrap corners, man. If you don't do nothing else, learn how to wrap corners. It's not hard, just take your time. When you're going around a corner, let's say this is a corner we're gonna go around right here. You go around the corner, make sure you maintain your angle. You get to the corner, don't move too fast. Take your time and wrap the corner. Let me see if I got a rod. Ain't no rods in here. Just take your time, you know what I'm saying, around the corners. It'll look like the metal's washing away. But don't worry about it. Make sure everything tied in. If you got to, do a little circle. And then go across the top and let your bead. It's not hard welding. It's not hard. It's nothing but hand-eye coordination. You know what I'm saying? Take your time. That's pretty much it with that. But basically, man, about this welding life, man, you can make the best of it. Always further your education too. You got time to go get certificates. Go get some certificates, man. Put them under your belt. Get certified. You stay working longer versus somebody like me that just got all experience and no weld search. I had to pass up a job that was closer to my home, and that was only like 5 hours away. And I had to pass it up because I didn't have no certifications. You know, and I ended up getting blessed with this. It's still a blessing. I'm far away from the house, but I'm still good. You know what I'm saying? Because I could be not working. But that's why I give you the advice to go get your certifications, man. Go get your associates in welding. Man, you'll stay with a job. Get your associates, man. You could be in the office somewhere. Go get your CWI, Certified Weld Inspector. Man, Mr. Julius Jones told me about that years ago, and I still didn't do it. I still didn't do it. Man, I could have been a weld inspector, making $50+ an hour, between $45 and $50 with per diem, easy. Doing nothing but looking at people welds and telling them if they got defects or not. Working at a shop at the house, making good money. But I didn't take the advice I was given because I had it already in my head that I couldn't do it. His opportunity was given to him. Mine wasn't, so I was like, man, I want what he got. I want to do it that way. And I didn't even put forth an effort because I was like, man, I can't do that. So it's like another opportunity I missed out on. And now I got to try it years later in life. So you take advantage of it. You know, Certified Weld Inspector, CWI. Go look into it. It ain't even expensive. Now that I understand money a little better, man, that small investment would have catapulted me in my career. You know what I'm saying? In my trade. But it's okay. You know what I'm saying? We live and we learn. You guys, young, older, it don't matter. If you got the time, you got the money, go do it. You know what I'm saying? It's definitely gonna be worth it later in life. Oh, shout out to Dante London. He the one that got me on making videos, posting every day. You know, that's what I'm doing. And you know, hopefully, when this do blow up, I'll be able to shout him out or collab with him and let him know. You know, I went from this to this. You know, all out for him and his old lady. His old lady was in the video too. All out for them telling us like, hey, get up, go make content, post every day. So hopefully I get to, you know, let them know I'm appreciative of that. So yeah, let me see what I got going. Peace and love, everybody. Till next time, as always.